Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at the equation of a circle. Right, this is another topic on the additional topics in math, which focuses mainly on geometry and trigonometry. As always, we're going to look at 5 questions. We're going to explain them. We're going to look at the intricacies in this topic so that you can ace the SAT math portion. If you like these videos and found them informative, please be sure to like and subscribe. With that, let's get started on our first question. Diameter of a circle graph in the xy plane has endpoints at -2, -1, and 4, 7. Which of the following is an equation of the circle? Well, let's see. First, before we start anything, we should first figure out how to use the equation of the circle. Well, let's think all the way back to what a circle really is. Right now, in middle school, you probably took like a compass and you just put it down and you drew a circle around. And what was that? How did you define that as a circle? Well, you said there was a center. There was a center and there was a distance. You took the center and you drew a distance around that center so that every single point was that same distance around a circle, around that center. And that's how we define a circle. It's the locus, just means the set, the locus of all points that are a set distance away from a certain point, a set point, which is the center. So how do we utilize that? How do we make that a equation of the circle? Well, we just use the Pythagorean theorem, also known as the distance formula, when we're talking about Cartesian coordinates. Right, so this is the equation of a circle is a pretty fancy version of the Pythagorean theorem. Let's see how we use it, how we derive it, and how we manipulate it if we need to. All right, so first we need to find the center of the circle. We'll call that H and K. All right, and we'll call our radius R. Now, our distance, right? So if we have a certain point, x, y, right, that's on the circle, then we know that x minus h squared is the distance from h minus y minus k squared, and that's going to be the, and then we take a square root of that, that's going to be the distance. That's going to be r, right? Because that's going to be the distance from that point, which is the radius. Now we can square both sides, and we get this equals r squared. And this is the equation of the circle. Right? It's not that complicated. It's really just the Pythagorean theorem, right? So all we have to do now is find the center, and we have to find the radius. So the center, we have endpoints that make a diameter. So we use these to find the center. We just find the midpoint. The midpoint of -2, -1, and 4, 7 is going to be 1 and 3. So it's going to be x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared. So that's going to be either C or D. Now I have to find the distance. Well, the distance is going to be between the center and this point. So I'm going to be between the diameter. But if we took -2, -1, and 4, 7, we're going to get 6 and 8. That would give us 100. Right? 6 squared plus 7 squared plus 8 squared is going to be that 100. So we get equals 100. But we want the distance from the center to a point. From 1, 3 to 4, 7, we have 3 and a 4. That makes 25. And from -2, -1 to 1, 3, we still have a 3 and a 4. That still makes 25. So the r is going to be 5. So r squared is going to be 5. And our answer is going to be choice D. The next question, thinking about what we've learned, and we're going to use this for all of these questions. So center is at 2, 3. So we have x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared, which is going to be B or C. So the point 8, 11 lies on the circle, so that's going to be 6 and 8 away. 6 squared plus 8 squared is going to be 100, which is going to be the radius squared. Right? It's going to be the radius squared, right? We're not going to the radius, the radius squared. And that's choice B. And we can move on to the next question. Right? Have a diameter with endpoints at 0, 3, and -4 is 0. All right, you have to drill. Find the midpoint. -2, -2, 3 halves. So x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 halves squared, and then the radius of this Well, the diameter we see between 0, 3 and -4, 2. The diameter is 5, so the radius is half of that, which is 5 halves. You square 5 halves, then you get 25 over 4. So it should be this answer choice D right here, and B is right. Yeah, once you know the formula for the circle, everything goes by very quickly. We have 16, -25, 4, 13. Find the midpoint. It's going to be 10 and -6. So x minus 10 squared plus 5 plus 6 squared is going to be c or d. We need to find the radius. So we can find the diameter first. So the distance is 12, and between -25 and 13, our distance is 38. 38 squared plus 12 squared is 1588. So our diameter is square root of that, or 39.8. So our radius is going to be half of that, or 19.9. Now we square that again to get 397, as you see right there. And our answer is going to be choice D. Let's keep going. All right, let's simplify. Here we are. A circle on the xy plane had center as 1/2 -2/3. So our equation of the circle is x minus 1/2 squared, and then plus y plus 2/3 squared. So it's either going to be A or C. The point 0, 5, 6 lies on the circle. Well, 0, 5, 6 is going to be a point. 1/2 -2/3 is our center. The distance there is going to be 1/2 the x, and 2/3 plus 5, 6 or 9, 6, which is 3 halves for the distance in the y coordinate. 1/2 is 1/2 and 3 halves. So we apply the Pythagorean theorem on them. And then 0.5 squared plus 1.5 squared is 2.5. So our radius squared is 2.5, which is 5 halves. Answer choice A. And we're done. So as you can see, you need to remember the basic formula of the circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Make sure you're using the radius, not the diameter. Make sure you're finding the actual center. You shouldn't really have to memorize this formula, but you can't if you need to. If you forget it though, you can always rederive it using a fancy version of the Pythagorean theorem. That is it for our study of circles, and I'll see you next time.